How does overtime pay differ in the construction industry? In recent days, a hot topic has emerged in the labor and employment law sphere. Many are asking, how does overtime pay differ in the construction industry? This question is especially relevant as workers and employers navigate changes in regulations and tax laws. If you are involved in construction work or manage a construction business, understanding these differences is essential. Let's break it down. Overtime pay in the construction industry is primarily governed by the Fair Labor Standards Act. This law requires employers to pay eligible employees overtime for hours worked beyond 40 in a work week. Most construction workers qualify for this overtime pay unless they fall under specific exemptions, such as certain supervisory roles. Typically, overtime pay is calculated at 1.5 times the regular hourly rate. This means if a worker usually earns $20 an hour, they would receive $30 for every hour worked over 40 in a week. However, it is important to note that some states have their own laws regarding overtime. For instance, California mandates overtime pay for any work exceeding 8 hours in a single day. Recently, changes in tax law have added another layer to this topic. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act allows individuals to deduct up to $12,500 in overtime pay from their federal taxable income. This deduction applies to the tax years from 2025 through 2028. However, it is important to remember that this deduction only applies to overtime pay required by the Fair Labor Standards Act. It does not cover overtime paid under state laws that are stricter than federal regulations. Employers in the construction industry must also be aware of new reporting requirements. They need to report the total amount of qualified overtime compensation on specific forms. This could create challenges in the first year due to the retroactive application of these rules. Moreover, while the tax deduction offers potential savings for workers receiving overtime pay, it does not affect Social Security and Medicare taxes. This means that payroll tax savings are not included in this deduction. In summary, while overtime pay in the construction industry generally follows the Fair Labor Standards Act guidelines, recent tax changes could provide financial benefits for workers. Understanding these differences is vital for both employees and employers in the construction field.